Star Trek had a great 2024, even if it doesn't seem that way. On the surface, 2024 might not look like a landmark year for Star Trek. There were no universe-shaking reveals, no monumental crossovers, and certainly no new feature films to dominate the conversation. Social media didn't erupt with "This is the year Star Trek came back to save sci-fi" headlines. For casual fans scrolling past gifs of space battles or Jerry Ryan memes, it might have seemed like a quiet, even forgettable year. Yet beneath the surface, 2024 was quietly transformative for the franchise, laying the groundwork for its next era in ways that will ripple for years. First, Star Trek storytelling diversified in ways few fans fully noticed. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds continued to thrive, but the real magic was in the subtle expansion of the franchise's narrative palette. Rather than leaning solely on episodic morality plays or purely exploratory arcs, writers took bold risks with character-driven plots. For example, Captain Pike's decisions became increasingly morally complex, exploring shades of leadership and consequence that echo classic TOS dilemmas, but with the modern sophistication audiences now expect. It may not have dominated trending topics, but the season showed Star Trek is still capable of nuanced storytelling that respects its roots while evolving for today's viewers. Meanwhile, Star Trek: Picard quietly proved that character-focused arcs could still feel epic. While the series has had its ups and downs, 2024 emphasized the quiet heroics and inner struggles of its characters rather than flashy galactic events. Picard's leadership, Seven of Nine's moral dilemmas, and the evolving dynamics among secondary characters created an emotional resonance that doesn't show up in box office numbers or viral clips, but it's the sort of storytelling that strengthens a franchise's foundation. For fans willing to engage deeply, the season was a reminder that Star Trek has always been at its best when exploring the human condition, not just alien worlds. Technically, Star Trek also quietly excelled. Production values improved without drawing headlines. From subtle upgrades to CGI starships to more naturalistic lighting and set design, 2024 showed the franchise is committed to keeping the universe visually fresh. It's easy to overlook these incremental improvements. They rarely trend on Twitter, but they make the difference between a series that feels like a recycled sci-fi show and one that genuinely inhabits the universe it portrays. 2024 was, in essence, a year of craftsmanship, and craftsmanship often goes unnoticed by the casual observer. Another significant, yet understated, success came in the franchise's global reach. Star Trek has historically struggled to capture international audiences outside of the US, but 2024 marked a quiet expansion into markets like India, Brazil, and Eastern Europe. Streaming deals, dubbing initiatives, and regional marketing allowed the franchise to gain a foothold with new audiences. For a property often seen as niche or older sci-fi, these incremental gains are huge. They don't create immediate hype, but they ensure Star Trek remains culturally relevant for the next generation of viewers. Perhaps the most overlooked achievement of 2024 was Star Trek's ability to innovate in storytelling form. Animated series and short-form content continue to experiment with narrative structures, timelines, and even genre blending, turning what might seem like minor side projects into laboratories for ideas that could influence major series in the near future. This approach mirrored Star Trek's classic experimental ethos. The franchise thrives not when it plays it safe, but when it tests boundaries in ways that might initially go unnoticed. The franchise also embraced interconnectivity without overcomplicating its continuity. Star Trek has long been both celebrated and criticized for its tangled timeline, but 2024 proved the franchise can offer fan service and narrative cohesion simultaneously. References, Easter eggs, and subtle character callbacks were abundant, but never overwhelming, creating an ecosystem where casual viewers could enjoy standalone stories while die-hard fans unearthed layers of connective tissue. It's a delicate balance, and 2024 managed it impressively, even if it wasn't immediately obvious. Finally, 2024 reinforced the idea that Star Trek's strength lies in its people, not its spectacle. Behind-the-scenes talent, actors, writers, directors, and designers found creative freedom to shape the universe in meaningful ways. Alan Ritchson's portrayal in Reacher-style fan conversations might not directly tie into Star Trek, but it reflects a broader cultural shift. Audiences now value grounded, nuanced performances. Star Trek benefited from this shift by producing more authentic character work that, while understated, strengthens its long-term legacy. So yes, 2024 might not have felt monumental. It lacked the obvious viral moments or blockbuster events that dominate headlines. But measured on the